Hi, I'm Chris McGovern. I'm going to show you how to plant field corn today.
Before we get started, let's learn a little bit more about the parts of our corn planter. As you can see, there are 12 different boxes on the front and back of the planter. The ones in the back are called planter boxes, which hold the seeds. The ones in the front are pesticide or insecticide boxes, otherwise known as a smart box. The two arms on either side of the planter are known as marker arms and let the farmer know where the middle of the next row should be. This part of the planter under the planter boxes is called a seed plate. This is what spins around and sends the seeds down into the seed tube, which then places the seeds into rows. These are called row cleaners, sometimes called trash wheels, and they move debris like weeds, corn stalks, and other trash out of the way so the rows can be nice and clean. Next is the no-till discs, which helps chop up residue and debris to assist the opener wheels for correct seed placement. These wheels are called gauge wheels, and they move up and down and regulate how deep the seed is planted. This next part of the planter behind the gauge wheels is the opener discs, which opens up the soil into rows for the seeds to be planted. Finally, we have the closing wheels. These wheels push the soil on top of the seeds so they can be properly planted and germinate. This is what a row looks like after being fully planted. This is what a row looks like before the closing disc. You can see that the seeds are 2 inches deep in the soil. Each row is about 30 inches apart. There are about 34,000 seeds per acre. That means that for every 100 acres, 3.4 million seeds are planted. The spacing between seeds changes depending on the amount put in the planter. These seeds are 5.8 inches apart from each other.
Picture that tells you the weight of the bag. And then this is your seeds per pound. So this is a pretty heavy bag at 61 pounds. Usually a bushel of corn is 56. That's what the standard is. So this is a pretty heavy corn for being 61 pounds. And it doesn't matter the weight, every bag has 80,000 kernels. So some bags are 42 pounds. So that's just the seed size, it's a lot smaller.
So these are the seeds that we are planting with today. These are round corn, and these pinkish reddish ones that you see are genetically modified. And there's a bit of a mixture of these pinkish ones and these bluish purple ones. And these ones are not genetically modified. So the reason we have these mixed together is because when pests come and they come to eat the corn plants, these purplish blue ones are non-modified, so the pests will eat these rather than the genetically modified, and it will slow down the pest resistance to these plants. So when pests eat the genetically modified plants, they will eventually build a resistance to them, and it will end up killing a lot more of our plants. So when we mix together the modified and the non-modified, it slows down that pest resistance and is able to help our plants grow a lot better. Also, these kernels are a bit more round. That's because, as you can see here, they will come through this chute down into here before they're planted down below. And this specific plate is built for round kernels, so it is more accurate that way. And as you can see here, we have a poison tank. This contains insecticide or pesticide. This insecticide prevents insects and pests from consuming the crops and the plants and spreading disease and damaging it. As you can see, this is the Aztec brand. There are a couple of other popular insecticide brands, but what these companies do is they will modify their insecticide formula which will prevent the insects and the pests from becoming immune to the insecticide or pesticide. So this is just another way that keeps our crops and plants healthy, and this chart here shows how many seeds can be planted per acre. So depending on the setting that we set it at and how fast these chains will disperse the seeds, we can get more or less seeds per acre and more crops.
Modern technology allows farmers to map out their land, prevent planting overlap, and it even has automatic steering. This clip shows how the planters will stop laying seed once it reaches an already seeded section. The bottom left corner shows each individual planter box stopping once it reaches the designated area.
Yeah. Can you explain like how many seeds are in a bag and like how many are planted per acre?
Corn sold in bags of 80,000 kernels per bag. So then, depending on what you want, we planted 34 to 45,000 seeds per acre. So one bag should last 2.2 to 2.5 acres per bag. Some guys run it lower. Just depends on the field conditions and what each particular farmer wants to spend on corn.
And how many acres is this field?
This is 83.3.
Do you want to explain why we plant this time of year and not like earlier in the spring?
Usually you want the ground temperature to be about 50 degrees, 53 degrees to germinate each seed. Otherwise the seed will just sit there. If it sits in too cold temperature ground, then it's going to rot. It's not going to grow. So usually you try and wait till about now. They call them treatments. It's a coating that you can get on each seed that'll somewhat alleviate cooler soil, but